Letters and sounds. One of the key skills for phonetician, a person who knows about and uses phonetics, is to divide a word into its individual sounds, which are also referred as segments. Speech is a continuous and dynamic process, but for convenience, we can think about splitting it up into smaller sections consisting of individual sounds. This is rather similar to dividing up a movie into a number of still images or snapshots. Think about the words dog and cat. Each of these contains three letters and also three sounds or segments. The sounds into which each word can be divided are as follows: dog, D as a donut, O is in off, and G as in goat. Cat, C is in camel, A is in end, and T is a table, as we have just seen in the previous section. However, spelling can be misleading as there is not always a simple match between sounds and letters. Exercise 1.4. Each of the words below contains three letters, but how many sounds are there in each word? Take each word and try to break it down into the smallest parts possible, then count how many parts there are. Remember that we are thinking about the way the word sounds, not how it is spelled. Lie, da, I, o, emu, fox, beat, try. Tip. It may help to cover up each word as you work on it so that you are not distracted by the spelling. Comment. O and I both have only one sound. You may disagree as you can feel your mouth moving somewhat, but these words do not only contain one sound. As we will discuss in Unit 6, lie and the both have two sounds. Beat and try have three. Emu have three. Emu has four for some speakers, but three if you do not pronounce a sound like that at the start of yogurt and after the M sound. Fox also has four sounds as the X letter represents two sounds. A sound like that at the start of kite, followed by one like that at the start of socks. In fact, if we think about the sounds at the end of fox and socks, we can hear they are the same, even though the spelling is different. Exercise 1.5. Now let us look at these words. First of all, count the letters and then try to work out how many sounds each word contains. Tough, bud, axe, big, cup, love, ox, puff. Comment. Hopefully, you have found that all these words contain three sounds, despite containing between two and five letters. For example, ugh at the end of tough represents only a single sound as f. At the end of buff, e. At the end of love, e does not represent a sound at all, as demonstrated by the popular spelling love that we use all times in text and emails. As we can see, the number of written letters in a word does not always tell us how many sounds a word contains. Therefore, when thinking about phonetics, it will be very important not to think about the spelling of a word when we want to think about its sounds. We have seen in the previous exercise that spelling and sounds are separate. In fact, we can think of them as two separate levels for analysis. The technical term for the level of spelling is the orthographic level. The technical name for the sound level is the phonetic or phonemic level. We will discuss the difference between phonetics and phonemic sound, phonemic much later on in this book.